My greatest fear is that I will fall behind with technology, but everything is moving so quickly. How do I stay up to date and relevant? That's the question my friend Lisa sent me the other day. Now, I've got several ways I do it myself actually, but before I get into them, there's one thing I want to say first, and I think it's important. You don't need to keep up with the latest updates in AI. You just need to know how AI can help you in your business. My first tip is to use AI every day in your work if you can. Use it to brainstorm ideas or get a second opinion on something you're working on. But while you're working on it, poke around. That's what I do. Go into menus that you haven't seen before. See what's in there. And if a feature interests you that you hadn't noticed before, go and ask the AI about it. So I've just come into ChatGPT, but you can do exactly the same in Claude or Gemini too. And maybe I'll notice something in the sidebar called plugins I haven't explored before. So I'll click on it and have a scroll. And if it's not obvious what it does, I will then create a new chat and ask ChatGPT. I will ask it something like, I've just seen a feature in ChatGPT called plugins. What are plugins and what can I do with them? I notice there's one for Notion and one for Canva which I use. Would it be useful for me? So as you can see, it's telling me how plugins are add-ons that give ChatGPT extra capabilities and allow it to connect to different apps. And then because ChatGPT knows me, it's going to suggest how specific plugins I mentioned, that are Notion and Canva, how they might be useful to me. For instance, it's suggesting I could potentially ask it to create a page in Notion for a new YouTube idea, including a title, outline, sources and thumbnail notes. It's tailoring its answer around what it knows about me. What it suggests for you will be slightly different depending on your business. And if something sounds useful to you, ask more questions or just take a note and look for a YouTube video about it later. Tip 2 is newsletters. Sign up for a couple of AI newsletters and just skim them for what's happening. Or if you're feeling lazy, get AI to read them for you and tell you if there's anything relevant. The simple way to do this is to cut and paste the email into your AI tool and ask it to flag anything that's relevant to you. So I'm going to prompt, here's an email from Matt Wolf at Future Tools. Can you let me know if there's anything relevant to me and AI Easy over 50? Then I'm going to copy and paste the text from the email and add that just below the prompt. Then I'll click Submit. So you can see how it's looking through the email, but instead of just giving me generic summary, it's adapting what it says to try and make any content more relevant to me. So because it knows I have a YouTube channel, it's suggesting what information might work for a video. And once again, depending on your business, it will tailor it for you. Or if you want something a little bit more sophisticated, connect your AI to your Gmail and ask it to summarise. First, you need to connect ChatGPT to Gmail using the plugin. So go into Plugins in the sidebar and click it. Then search for Gmail. Click on that and then click Install Plugin. You'll be taken through to sign into your Gmail account. I've done that off camera. Once that's done, you will see that Gmail is installed. Then you're going to start a new chat. Select the plus button, then select Gmail, or alternatively you can just type the @ symbol and then Gmail in the chat. Now type a prompt that's along these lines. Look at the latest Gmail from the Rundown AI and let me know if there's anything relevant to me. You can see how once again ChatGPT has tailored the information to me. So in my case, it thinks the article about recording Claude's skills is the most relevant one to me. Tip 3, YouTube. It's a great source of information, but be careful because there is so much hype around AI and that will make you feel like you're falling behind. And really you're not, you're doing just fine. YouTubers have to keep up with the latest thing because that's how they make their living. But a couple of channels that I really like that are aimed at business are Paul J. Lipsky and he keeps things right up to date with what's happening in AI. So if you spotted a new feature when you were poking around in tip 1, he's probably already got it covered. Now there's Sabrina Ramanoff. She is brilliant. She's real inspiration. She sold a company, an AI company, but she's now built a new one that uses AI. But her mission is to teach AI to 1 million people completely for free. Now, some people also use LinkedIn to keep up with AI, but personally, I find it a bit dry. So tip 4, podcasts. Now, podcasts are great if you do a lot of commuting or if you're at the gym. I think they're one of the easiest ways to keep up with what's going on because you can multitask. Now, I don't know about you, but when I can't sleep, I just stick my earphones in, listen to a podcast. I don't always make it through to the end, so I have to listen to it again to catch up. But a few I'd recommend are AI Explored, and that's very much for business. It's focused on interviewing business experts. Marketing Against the Grain, if marketing is part of what you do. Everyday AI, and that's one I dip in and out of, depending if the topic looks relevant to me. Now, tip 5, ask AI directly what's new. So I might prompt Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, something like this. What's new in AI from the last 7 days that's relevant to me, including anything from the change logs of the major AI tools. If you have web search, use it. Now, change logs are just the latest updates each company posts about their AI tools. So you can see how it's been out on the web looking for what's been happening over the last week, but then it's also trying to tailor information specifically for how it thinks it might be useful for me. For instance, here it's suggested that the latest version of Gemini Flash 3.6 has a high relevance to me, and it's made suggestions on how I could use it in a video targeted to my audience. And you can see at the bottom here, it's asking if I want to make it into a scheduled task. Well, that leads on nicely to step 6, which is to create scheduled tasks. Now, if you've got one of the Pro or Plus accounts on one of the LLMs, you'll have access to scheduled tasks. Now, some may need your computer to be on to run, but ChatGPT doesn't, so I'm going to show you on that one. First, I'm going to go into the sidebar and click Scheduled. Though this will also work if you just ask it in a normal chat to create a scheduled task. We're going to set up the same prompt as before as a weekly task, and I'm also going to ask it to check my AI emails at the same time. So I'll say, schedule this to happen every week on a Monday 8 AM. Find what's new in AI from the last 7 days that's relevant to me, including anything from the change logs of the major AI tools. If you have web search, use it. Also summarise the latest email from Matt Wolf at Future Tools and the Rundown AI from my Gmail. And let me know if there's anything relevant to me. And as you can see, it's setting up the scheduled task for me. If I click this little button, you can see all the details of the task. Now, to choose how you get notified that the task is ready each week, go to your profile icon, then Settings, then Notifications, and scroll down to Tasks. Then click the little arrow. Now, I want an email notification, so I'm going to turn that on. And I'm going to leave the push notification on as well. The push notification is just a little message that will pop up on your phone or your computer. Every Monday, ChatGPT will send you through an email to let you know your research is ready. And if Claude is one of the tools that you're using, I've put together a free quick guide to getting started with Claude. All the features you can use, there's a link below if you'd like it. Try it out, let me know how you get on. I will see you in the next one.